Very funny man. Very excited to have him on the show. He's actually a really good friend of mine as well. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please, for those of you at home, just clap. We won't be able to hear it, but clap. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for CJ Benson. You can say hi.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for that introduction, Joe.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
buddy.
yes, I'm here. I'm live, ready to go.
Cool, man. All right, so we were chatting a
Yes.
bit off camera about a few things, and we'll get right into that. But first, I always like to ask to my fellow comedian, what's it like? What are you doing now? Where is your mind? We're in day 9. How are you feeling?
Is it day 9? I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. It's just, yeah, it's days upon days upon days. I don't know. Does weekends get included in this whole thing? Because I
Yes.
heard something. I heard something where somebody says no, the weekend doesn't get included in this 21 days. So
Oh
yeah,
no,
I'm
no, no.
just.
It's included. I Now you're making me think. Perhaps some people can comment and tell us
Days
what they think.
Yeah. So you offer, but your days are gonna be. You're gonna get to day 15, and you think, "Hey, I'm done," and it's like, but the weekends, so it's actually day 9. So yeah, we'll,
Oh
we'll see
no.
how it.
And
Uh,
how do you feel though? What are you doing now to keep yourself sane? Are you writing a lot of material? Are you writing other things? What are you doing?
yeah, I'm actually. I wouldn't say I'm fortunate, but I'm not full time into comedy, as you know.
Hmm.
I haven't taken that leap yet. Still wanting to take the leap. But yeah, so I'm still working. So I'm part of the essential workers.
Nice.
Like Cyril said, the essential guys, you have to be out there. So I'm fortunate to be part of those guys. So fortunate and unfortunate. But yeah, so I'm out there working. So I'm not stuck at home all the
Yeah.
time.
What is
So
it that you do again? I remember you told me
uh,
once.
I work for the government, Joe, and that's all that I can say. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Oh wow, is it like CIA vibes now?
They, I could tell you, but then I'll have you get what I'm saying. It's that type of it's on a need to know basis kind
All
of thing.
right.
So
Okay. Okay.
just know that I am fighting on the forefront for the country of South Africa. You get what I'm
Oh.
saying? So
Okay. All right. Cool.
yeah,
So
rest assured,
if I
you
need
can
a
sleep easy.
if I need a hit out on someone, can I speak to you about it?
I'm not saying I'm the guy to speak to, but I'm also not saying I'm not the guy to speak to. But
Oh man. Okay.
you know what? I know a couple of people that can make that happen. So yeah.
Oh man, this whole time we've been gigging together. I never thought it was that serious, you know? Like I thought because you're a nice guy, you're very
Yeah,
humble and
that's
sweet but who knows, maybe if I step on the wrong
that's
side.
yeah, that's all part of the training. Eh? It's all part of the training. Make you have to be you don't have to draw attention to yourself. So that is what they do in the training. I have to look as normal as possible. But unfortunately my cover has been blown during this time.
All right, cool. We'll leave it at we'll leave it there. Cool.
Yeah,
So how do you
please do because they watching. They watching, Joe. They watching.
And one quick question: how do you feel about 21 days? Do you think it's going to be extended, or do you think it's going to be 21 days? What's your opinion?
Hey, I'm hoping 21 days would suffice. I'm hoping, but if you go according to what the whole world is doing, what the trend is worldwide, it looks like it's heading towards 3 months. So we'll see. Apparently, um, people are saying, we've got a lot of experts, we've got a lot of doctors on our WhatsApp groups. So according to them, they saying it's this following 2 weeks is the most important. So this will dictate whether or not we're gonna stay with 21 days or it's gonna be extended. But yeah, but those WhatsApp groups, you don't know who you can believe. Eh?
That's very true. That's extreme. Oh my word! I'm getting so sick and tired
Yeah,
of these
have you
groups.
noticed everybody's a doctor? Everybody's a no, Mark, you were business administrator. you don't have any qualifications. You get what I'm saying? Now you're taking advice from this guy now. Really? Stay in the lane, Mark. I'm just saying.
Mark. Yeah, we all know Mark, right?
Yeah, I just made up. That's just the first name that came to mind. I don't think I know a Mark, but yeah, let's just say Mark. I'm just gonna use Mark as a random name.
All right, here we got. There's a Mark Stoffels that just commented. Joe popped the question to CJ. Which primary school buddy does he think of when you mention rugby fanatic?
Weirdly enough, that is Mark. I know a Mark. Yo, what's up, Mark Stoffels? How are you? It's a primary school buddy of mine, Mark
Okay.
Stoffels. So we go way back. Thanks for tuning in, Mark.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks
tuning
for
in, Mark. That's really
using
cool of you,
Mark
man.
and your Wi-Fi, man. I appreciate that, Marky, for the Lotus and everything. Lotus River, here we go. Sorry, Joe,
Represent. No, it's cool.
Yeah, I had to do a shout out to my boys there.
That's cool. Yeah, keep those comments coming, everyone. Ask us anything you want to ask. We'll respond. We'll read it. This is what it's all about. You're hanging out with local comedians, and that's exactly what we want. We'll hopefully have a laugh together, and we might play a game depending on how many viewers we have a bit later on. We'll play a quick game. It's going to be a lot of fun where you guys can get involved as well. So, getting back to it. So, groups. I have to say this, and I hope my mom is not watching. Um,
Ooh, ooh, okay,
but
cool. Yeah,
she
say it, Joe.
she
Say it.
you're an instigator. You're an instigator. Um,
You're thinking too much, which means you're trying to phrase this in an appropriate way that is not gonna offend your mom. So that's fine. You're giving thought to the situation. Just be careful, Joe. I mean, it's Easter. Pickle fish is on the line, but I'm just saying, don't damage your pickle fish connection. You know what I mean? So just take it easy, phrase it properly. I also have actually something to say
Go ahead.
about
You
my
go
mom as
first.
but no, 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 no. It's fine. You go. It's your show. I'll let you go first, and then I'll follow suit.
Okay.
If it goes, then I'll just go off on another tangent. So it's fine. Let me first implicate yourself before I implicate myself.
Okay.
So it's
So
fine. You go for it, Joe.
I
Go
have
for it.
I have two things to say right now to you. Okay, first off about my mom, about the groups. I don't know if anyone else. Please comment. Let me know. Um, my mom always forwards me a chain message that she got asking if I know if this is true. Like I work for the government. Like I would know. Like I'm the president. Like I'm the doctor that would know everything about Corona, and and she's like, "Oh no,
Okay.
I heard lemon tea is good for Corona. Is that true?" I don't know. Try. Let me know. And then the other thing I have to say is I think you gave a bit of your game away there because you're good at reading people, which is a little bit of a clue, I think, into what you do for a living. I'm just saying.
No. Well done on that, Joe.
We got a
Regarding the
comment. I just
remedy,
want to say very quickly we got a comment. CJ, this is from Clinton Benson, who says CJ
yes.
doesn't know a Mark as him about Mark Harris.
Oh, yes. That's my father-in-law. Yeah. Hey,
Okay. You know a lot of
forgot another
Marks.
mark.
He's the Mark. He's
Hey,
the Mark that you're talking about.
hey, this is family. This is now how family exposes you while you're doing a live interview.
That's what it's all about,
Yeah,
buddy.
my, my father-in-law is also a Mark, so I think I need to change that name to Donovan. Please change the name to
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, all your marks are gonna
Donovan.
start coming out. There's another comment from Abdullah Haroon Peck. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Lol, Liverpool bragging. I'm not sure. He's just said.
Oh no, because of my little product placement here.
Okay.
As you can see, product placement. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, they're not paying me for this, but yeah, I just thought I'll just put it in there. Here we go. Thank you, Abdul. He's a comedian as well. He done comedy as well. But I don't know if he's been at it. But I met him on the comedy scene, and yeah, he actually wrote a dope poem. For those of you guys who want to go check it out, it's called "Colored." So if you have the time, go check it out. Sorry,
Interesting.
Joe, that I'm using this platform. I'm just promoting.
No, go ahead.
Just
Go
have to
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, it's fine.
just tell me to stop.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. Go ahead.
but thanks for tuning in, Abdul. But
Yeah.
about the home remedies, about those home remedies, um, the lemon tea. I also heard about the lemon tea. Because now you're just going to go and buy lemons and you're just drinking tea like it's going out of fashion. But then there's those other remedies as well with cayenne pepper and it's ginger and it's garlic. It's just all crazy type of remedies, That
Yeah.
that my mother sends. It's like, no, protect yourself against the corona. You out there, you're my baby.
Mm.
Take care of yourself. So now I'm busy making concoctions. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a lab. I'm making drugs. It just feels like I'm making drugs, but it feels like an episode of Breaking Bad. I'm just
I was just gonna say.
anything goes,
Yeah, it's
But I'm
true.
also, yeah, but I'm
These.
also married as well, as you know,
Yeah.
and yeah. So we haven't started a family yet.
Mm.
So we're looking to increase the family. So with moms and their WhatsApp groups, your mom sending you those WhatsApps. You know what I mean? Saying like, "Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
now's the yep,
Did you know that this is a
I
good
don't
time to catch up on the, you know?
exactly, exactly. Yeah. Like, hey, was normally, hey, I'm too busy. She's too busy.
Yeah.
Life. It's comedy. Now you get those messages. It's like, hey, I don't think you're too busy right now. So, you know, December babies are looking good. January babies are actually looking good. So it's just added pressure, bruh.
Yeah.
Ish.
Well, I see that we got a few viewers, and I hope that Mark Clinton and Abdullah are still with us. I want to play that
Thanks.
game very quickly, and you'll be the first comedian that I do this game with, and I would really like the guys that are watching to get involved here. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to hopefully have a bit of a laugh here. So I'm going to explain the game really quickly. It's a very simple game. So all it
Okay.
is basically I'm going to give a statement, and in the statement there's going to be a blank. All right. So for example, I'll say something like, let's see here. When Jason takes his clothes off, the first thing you notice is blank. Okay. Now in this case, I'm going to use CJ as the person that we're talking about. So this is where it becomes interesting. CJ, you'll fill in the blank, but I would like everyone to comment who's watching and also fill in the blank. Try and make it funny. Try and make it random, and at the same time, maybe you can see who knows
Waits
who.
me.
Yeah, what awaits you? We'll see. All right. So here's the
Who wants?
first. Sorry,
Okay.
you
Let's
can.
go. Let's go.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Cool. All right. So everybody, I hope you're by your keyboards. Here we go. Here's the first example. I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds to write or comment, and then the best one I'm gonna read. Sorry, as they come through. So first statement or first sentence.
Do
When
I have to comment as well?
you can comment, or at the end, I'll read the comments
We-
first, and
we-
then you can give me the answer, your actual answer. So here we go.
Okay.
Someone's two of us already commenting. Okay, wait for the sentence, man. But that's a good one. Wait, wait for the sentence. All right.
Hey,
Here we go. All right. Here's the sentence. When CJ calls his wife, it is usually to blank. 30 seconds. You guys can start. Anyone who's listening can start typing in your comments what you think. I'll read the sentence again. When CJ calls his wife, it is usually to blank. And try not to be too rude. All right, let's make it a nice humor. I'm waiting for the
okay.
I'm waiting for the comments to come in. Come on, guys, don't be shy. I think people are thinking.
Yeah, they're thinking. Yeah, they're thinking. Let's go, guys. Let's see what they come up with,
Abdullah still says 10 lines. All right, cool. Well, no one's commented. We'll do
Is
it
it?
again.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we'll
so.
do it again. We'll do it again. We can't wait forever, guys. But let's say, CJ, when you call your wife, it is usually to what?
To ask her where she is, Joe. To ask her where she.
Oh wait.
She likes to disappear. So I just have to keep track of her. I'm not an easy guy to live with.
Okay.
So whenever I phone her, that's just to check in that she's still there or that she's going home or
All right.
that
Cool.
she's
Well,
coming to.
sorry, I don't mean to cut
So
you off, but we got some. We actually got some replies here. So
okay.
Abdullah said, when CJ calls his wife, it is usually give it, to give his location. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
so he thinks your
Could be
wife is
true.
in control there.
But whose wife is in control, Joe?
That's also true. Um, and we have another one from Clinton Benson, who says,
Yes.
when CJ calls his wife, it is usually to make beef soup.
Ah, beef and soup, yeah.
That's
Got me
I
deep.
like that one.
Eh? Got me deep. But I got a joke about that, Joe. I
Okay.
do. I have a joke about that, about the cooking expertise of my wife, and yeah, so he knows it's a very touchy subject,
Oh,
very
okay.
sensitive. So my brother, he cut me deep there. Yeah. So
All right, well, let's try another sentence and see if everyone will chime in again. Remember, guys, you have 30 seconds to give your reply. And let's
yeah,
try.
these guys are a bit delayed, man.
You
Come
gotta
on,
think. You
guys.
gotta think on your feet. Okay, here we go. Second sentence is, when
Yes.
CJ goes to work, he always takes with him his trusty blank. When CJ goes to work, he always takes with him his trusty blank.
Interesting. When I go to work, okay.
We already discussed what you do. It's sort of, kind of. You're very aloof with that. So I think some of the comments might be a bit
Aloof.
interesting.
Oh, I like that word, aloof. Okay.
Yeah.
Something secretive, very keeping to himself, but I like aloof. Look, that's very nice. I'll add that to my dictionary. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Aloof. I'm
You're
being
welcome.
very.
Yeah, I'll wait for the guys to chime in. We come on. There should be five, at least five comments coming through. Come on, everybody can chime in. I'll read the sentence again. You guys must just give a random sentence or word. I like this one from Clinton Benson. He says, um, when CJ goes to work, he always takes with him his trusty bazooka. Is he close? I like that one. Here we go. Abdullah says, damn it, I don't know. A gun? See, people are.
Do I look like the transporter or do I look like an assassin? I don't know. People think that people tend to have that vibe about me. I don't know.
All right, well, why don't you give us your answer to that sentence?
My answer. Okay, cool. Just repeat the question again.
When CJ goes to work, he always takes with him his trusty.
Wallet. Wallet. That thing, Joe. If you married, you have to take the wallet, Joe. Do not leave your wallet and your cards at home when your wife is there. So that's the first thing that you need to take. It's your wallet, Joe. Gotta keep that account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get
You don't, you don't want to be at work and see those SMSs go off. You get what I'm saying?
it. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would turn back for if I should forget it.
I,
Mind
yeah,
you, I'll,
well,
I'll, I'll leave my phone. I'll leave everything else. I'll leave my driver's license if I have to, but my wallet, I'm turning back, bruh. Come on. Uh, it's too dangerous, bruh. That is too dangerous. So yeah, the temptation is too high. You don't want to. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. So last one. Last one. We'll do one more. Well, last one. Come on, guys, get involved. Thank you, Clinton. Thank you, Abdullah, for getting involved. This is really fun.
Thank you so much,
Um,
Clinton,
yeah,
and for staying tuned, man. I appreciate you guys.
you guys are awesome. Okay, cool. So last one. During load shedding, CJ always blank. So that can go in
Anyway,
any direction. That's a very open one. Again, don't be too rude.
yeah,
Let's be fun.
load shedding, CJ.
What do you always do during load shedding? All right, I'll wait for the comments to come in. 30 seconds, guys. I think I might give it a guess as well. I'm gonna try and think here.
Oh yes, please do, Joe. I mean, I'd like to hear your opinion on what you think I do when it's when it's load shedding.
All right, I'll actually comment live. Sorry, Abdullah already replied, and he says during load shedding, CJ always cries. To be fair, I think the whole
I,
country cries.
I mean, we had that one moment at the gig where I confided in him, and he broke my trust now. Abdullah, you broke my trust, bruh. Seriously. It was, I'll never forget it. I had a bad set, he had a bad set, and we were talking a lot. And we were having this conversation. I confided in him, and I just highlighted that trust, Abdullah. Shame on you.
Right. Clinton. Okay, well, Abdullah has another comment, but I'll read Clinton's first. So Clinton, to the answer of during load shedding, CJ always checks to make sure the lights are off and doors are locked.
Ah, yeah, you have to, Joe. You have to.
To make
You
sure the
know, the thing,
lights are off. It's load shedding.
yeah, but you have to make sure. You have to make sure because you don't want the lights to remain on when load shedding kicks back.
Oh, okay. No,
You know those
I thought you
that
meant like
stories. You know those WhatsApp stories.
yeah,
No, you
yeah,
must put all the lights, take out all the plugs. Otherwise, the surge of the conductor will shoot through and it will
yeah.
blow your fridge and all of those things. So that's what I always do. I don't
Okay.
know why. I
Uh,
don't know if it's true, but I still do it.
okay. Abdullah says in reply to what you were saying earlier, he says untrue, but had to throw him under the bus. And then Mark Stoffels says, I don't know why he's saying this. Babe, we not busy tonight. Grandparents said they feeling lonely. Oh, that's his guess. CJ, during load shedding, CJ always says, "Babe, we not busy tonight. Grandparents said they feeling lonely." So you go to your grandparents. That's actually nice.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Yeah, he's actually making me to be a saint.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I stay at home, but it's nice. It's actually cool what people actually think of you,
Mm.
or the perception that they have of you, which is actually quite decent. Some people, yeah, some people not so more than other people. Just putting it up.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for playing that
Thanks so much.
game.
Mwah.
I will probably do the same thing with my future guests as well, so you guys can always chime in. Maybe we'll do it a bit longer, and I'll also try and come up with other games that we can play with the comedians and stuff like that. It's really some of your stuff was really really funny. Thank you guys so much, and don't go away. We're still gonna keep on chatting. And then Abdullah says, I think Mark meant make some grandchildren.
I
Probably,
know.
probably.
Yeah, make some grandkids. Ish. Hey, this is real, bro. Ish, I'm telling you, guy. Have you not received any of that pressure yet? Because you also newly married. Congratulations on being newly married.
Thank you.
Yes, I see you got in just before the lockdown.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was. We were actually discussing that not too long ago. I think 2 days ago, we were like, "Crap! Imagine we didn't get like." We were actually going to move our wedding dates at one point because we got engaged. For those of you who don't know, we got engaged, and 2 weeks later we got married. So there was a lot of planning in just 2 weeks. And there was a point where we weren't sure that it was going to happen, and we were like, maybe we should be open to the idea of moving it to another date. And before people start asking, oh, but why was it such a big deal? We got married on the 29th of February. So,
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
why I'm saying it was like in there before the lockdown. You had to make it official.
Not just that,
Ah,
but it's also a leap year. So every 4 years, that's a nice conversation to have with people. Obviously, we'll celebrate it yearly, but it's a nice conversation to have. Like, technically, it's been four
oh, that
years, but yeah.
yeah. So we together, but we're actually not together that much. That is very,
Yeah.
very funny. It's actually cool that you planned it that way. So you basically planned the conversation for the next year.
Yeah, pretty much. Christmas is sorted for the next 2 years.
Yes. Yeah, hey, we got married in leap year. We're going out 4 years. No, it's 1 year. Hey, that is actually so funny. Yeah. And you haven't, and your parents haven't had that conversation yet about the family. When's the family coming? Because they normally start with that right out the gate. Eh? We're
Of
not
course.
getting any younger.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. No,
we're
of
not
course.
getting.
Of course. My mom's been asking, my mother-in-law's been asking. We're not ready yet. We want to enjoy the marriage first and then maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So nice, man. I see that you're using your hands a lot, especially your left hand. So that's nice. Just nice. You've been programmed well, Joe. You've been programmed well.
Mark gave a bit of a comment here saying, let me put it up on screen. His hanky in his back pocket. Okay.
Hey, Mark, where is? Hey, Mark is very. I think the questions are gone, eh? And Mark is still free. Thank you, Mark. You're a good friend, Mark. I appreciate you. But you
These
must
are
stay
all
up
of
with
you
the
guys.
times.
Yeah, all of you
Oh,
guys are fantastic for watching. Thank you guys so much.
thank
Okay,
you so much, man.
so let's get to know a little bit more about CJ. I don't know how well these guys that are watching know you, but I want to get to know a little bit more about you. I actually don't
Okay,
know, and I hope you don't mind sharing this. I don't
okay.
know how you got started in comedy. Tell us the
Oh,
story of the first time you ever stepped foot on stage and why and where and all that.
sure. That was many, many, many moons ago. But yeah, I went to a comedy show. I went to a comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
Actually went to go check out. I don't know if you remember that Fat Joe. It was a comedy competition that Fat Joe hosted. Cape Town's next best comic or something to that effect. It was a comedy competition at the Nova Street,
Yeah.
and then I pulled through, and then I watched the 10 acts. I can still remember Milo was in the final, Liam Bento was in the
Oh,
final,
okay.
Dalen, all of those guys, they were in the final, KG them. And after I watched the show, I was like, wow, this is actually amazing. I think I can do this. Because you all think you're that funny guy at the braai. You know what I mean? I'm the funny guy at the braai. I can do this. Chatted to the guys in the game. Dalen gave me the contact details for Rustum.
Yeah.
And then I performed at the Regazi Lounge. I think it was a month later. An open mic slot at the Regazi Lounge. And yeah, it was bad, eh? It was bad. Was real. It was real bad. I took my wife, who was my fiance at that time. I took her with some of my friends. My brother was there as well. And when you go to a gig, and it's funny in your head,
Yes.
and when on stage, it just sure. I think the only people that were laughing was the people that I brought, and the rest of the room was just silent. It was 5 minutes of death, eh? It was 5 minutes of death, Joe. It was bad. But yeah, so that's how I got started in comedy.
Cool. Yeah, well, I think a lot of people don't realize like all these people that we see on TV, especially even if there's a new comedian that's got a special on Netflix or whatever, or has a new special on TV. People don't realize that for the longest time we've been trying to practice, and we all started
Yeah.
off terrible. I mean, I was absolutely crap when I first started, no doubt.
It's,
Yeah.
it's that thing where you still remember your first set, eh? But then you ask yourself, did I really go on stage and say that? You know what I'm saying? Like I must go back now and see that guy doing that set. I would tell him, bruh, no. I would smack him. I would smack myself. I would literally smack myself to say, bruh, why did you think of that and doing it on stage? I don't know what your experience was.
I still have footage of the first ever, well, not okay, of the first ever live performance in front of a crowd that I don't know. I have the footage of that. And I think I did watch it about a few months ago, just to see if there was an improvement, and there wasn't. No, okay, there was.
I was the same. I was like, what's bad? I'm bad now. Hey, what's good? But you know what? Just sometimes it's the crowds, eh? It's the crowds. It's not always the comedian, eh?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to. Crowds also play their part. So yeah.
yeah. No,
So I
it's true
watched it,
because
eh?
the you can do the same set in one room and then go to another room somewhere else in the city, and the same set just dies. You're right. It is the audience. Sorry,
Yeah.
it can be the audience. Sorry, I spoke there.
No, that's what. When I started out, though, there was the advice that I was given was to say there are no bad audiences and crowds, only bad comedians. That is what somebody told me when I started my first. I can't remember who it was. And then as time has gone on, I realized that's a lie. There are bad audiences. So that is what I use to console myself. Whenever I have a bad gig, I still do from time to time. I just say it's bad audiences. I get in my car, go home, and I cry. But I cry because I know it's a bad audience. It's not me. I take it personal. Of a comedian, you don't take it personal. Whereas if
Yes,
you start out, you take it to heart. Eh? It's like,
yes,
it's me. There's something wrong with me.
yes,
But as time goes on, you're like, no, man, it can't be me all the time. So it's them.
yeah.
Some, like,
No, definitely. I mean, I think I know the comedian that gave you that advice. I think he gave me the same advice, and
oh, yes.
yeah, no,
It
but
was,
there's been a
it
few
wasn't,
comics that will tell
wasn't
me.
standard. Wasn't it just that stock standard message that you give? Like, this is what you give. This is the message you give to all the younguns in the game. I don't know. They went to a seminar or something. I don't know.
No, I don't know, but it's interesting how, look, at the end of the day, I think where they're coming from is you got to learn how to read the crowd as well, and that's true. But I mean, I've performed in front of like I went to a church gig where I did. It was all the elders at the church. Now I know that's not my crowd, but they wanted me to perform, so I performed. It was actually quite okay, but it it no matter how much I performed for them, no matter how good the jokes were, doing the same
Yeah,
set in front of a crowd that is more my demographic, such as from the ages of 25 to 35, and let's say a colored audience, then boom, I'm in heaven. Like it's just wow, you know? So it is the crowd. You got to know your market, you got to know your demographic, and definitely you need to learn how to read a crowd. But I mean, you can only read a crowd so far. I mean, Jimmy Carr
yeah.
walking into a church gig, he can read the crowd as much as he wants. He's not
It's
gonna
not
go
gonna,
in.
go down well. So, but like I said, like you said, it's important. You need to. But those are all skills. I mean, like you
Yeah,
said, you can read a crowd, you can interact with a crowd, but there's only so much that you can do.
yeah,
If it's not like you said, if it's not your demographic, you're gonna be okay. You're
Yes.
gonna be an okay comedian for that night.
Yes.
But if everything falls into place, I mean, it's comedy heaven. And
Exactly.
I think that's why to build and work up, build up your own crowd, people
Yes.
that are into your type of or your style of comedy.
Yes.
So yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, it does. How long have you been doing comedy now?
It's going for it will be I think it's going in for 9 years now.
9 years.
It
Okay.
will it's 9 years. I'm 9 years in the game.
All
There
right.
was also a time that I took a break, a
Okay.
2 year break. Yeah, it's just I took a 2 year break, which I still regret. But yeah, but now I'm after the 2 year break. I did a Dave Chappelle,
Yeah.
but I wasn't at the level of Dave Chappelle. If you're wrong, I did a Dave Chappelle, but I wasn't at the level of Dave Chappelle when I left. But but yeah, I'm back now and I'm focused, ready to make this thing happen now.
Yeah, I also took a break. I took about an 8 month break from comedy. I just got to a point where I was run down. I wasn't excited about being on the stage anymore. I just needed a break, and it's good to take those breaks. I mean, there's a few guys that I know in the industry that have taken breaks a year or 2 years, especially those that have kids. They normally do take a break, obviously, because they need to be at home and looking after
Okay.
the little one. But yeah, it does happen. Speaking of which, we're still on the topic of comedy. Are there any local or international comedians, either or, that you look up to and aspire to and draw inspiration from?
Okay, actually,
I think your hand is on the mic. There
oh,
you
sorry.
go.
I enjoy all types of comedy, so it's very difficult for me to say. I don't have a specific stand-up comedian, but I just draw from all of the guys that I watch, from your Dave Chappelle's to your Dimitri Martins to all of those guys. So I just enjoy comedy, all sorts of comedy, whether it's one-liners, whether it's dry humor, whether it's the spontaneous, quirky, slapstick kind of comedy. I just enjoy comedies in all formats. So yeah, that's where I draw my inspiration from.
Cool. So you're actually a lot like me because I feel the same way. I really love stand up comedy as a whole art. I can appreciate one liners, I can appreciate dark humor, I can appreciate storytelling, I can appreciate it all. So in that way, you and I are very much the same, which would explain why I think that you and I, when we're on the stage, we're somewhat similar. Because you're also a storytelling comedian.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
you always talk about stories that you've gone through, you've experienced. Like I love that. I think you have a joke about. Do you have a dog joke? Am I remembering that correct?
Yes, that's in my new one man stand up
Yes.
comedy special coming out next year, guys.
Yeah, coming out.
I just
Everything's coming out next year.
yes, yes. I do a joke about dogs, and you can find that in my one man stand up comedy special coming next year, guys.
Yeah,
So
2021. Woo!
2021, if Corona allows us to get out, you will see me
Oh
on
man.
stage, guys. 2021,
Yeah.
I'll be there, and you can hear that dog joke. Yeah.
No, I think yeah. I remember a dog joke. It was brilliant. I enjoy
Those-
watching a lot of the local comedians perform. You're one of them that I really like. If you're on the lineup, I'm like, oh yes. It's like it's fun.
Thanks, appreciate it, Joe, man. Thanks, thanks, thanks.
No problem,
No.
man. I mean that. I do mean that. Because again, because I love stand up comedy the way you love it, you would understand as well. With most of the guys, like I know that some of them think I'm a bit crazy because I like want to take pictures with everyone and stuff like that. But I'm genuinely fans of every comedian. I really am. I don't think there's a
Yes,
comedian I don't like.
yes, there is all comedians. We like all comedians. Comedians like all comedians, Joe. We're a happy family, Joe.
Okay, there are moments There are
we
moments.
we're a happy family, Joe. We just
I'm not really.
but I'm not gonna say anything. That's all that I'm gonna say. I'm just saying we all have that, that one uncle in the family.
Yes, yes. I know who you're talking about. I know what you're putting down. I know what you're putting down,
We
and
just say
you don't have to
so.
elaborate.
Yeah, but in general, like you said, I also love all comedians. I love all types of comedy. It's strange because you watch the comedians and you know the joke, you know the punchline, you know the setup, but you're such a lover of comedy. Whenever they drop that punchline, you still laugh and you still enjoy it, which is which is funny. So I can watch the same comedian maybe 3 or 4 times. For that same joke, I will probably laugh about 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
because I just love comedy in general. So yeah,
And that goes
and
for international guys. I can't tell you how many times I've watched like Robin Williams and
sure.
Dave Chappelle and all these guys over and over and over and over again. So I mean, I don't know if you're well. You just said you can watch these guys over and over again. And I think what's also really cool is when even though even though you know the material, sometimes like I don't know if you're like me, where I'll be at the back of the room and I've seen this guy like let's say Carl Weber. Um, I've seen Carl perform quite a bit of times. I've seen Martin Davis perform quite a bit of times. So I know when they start to joke, I know where it's going. But there's been a few times where I'm like, yeah, okay, that's how he said blah blah blah, and then he has a new punchline, and I'm like, you changed the game,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you appreciate it
that's
too.
yeah, you appreciate it, yeah, because you're thinking, hey man, this guy is taking it to the next level now.
Exactly.
So that's why I always watch the comedians just to see what they're doing, what's new, and also just to stay on top of things because at the end of the day, you don't want to do something. Okay, not this. Okay, all of us will do something similar at some point of time or some point in time, but you don't want to have the same narrative or the same type of jokes that the other guy has. So that's why I also watch a lot of comedians, even open micers. I
Yes.
love watching open micers because I know I've been there, so
Yeah.
I know the struggle and I know the pain, and it's difficult, but if they keep at it, so that's why
Exactly.
you can also get cool ideas, man,
Yeah.
or looking at things from a different perspective. So that's why I like watching comedies.
Exactly.
All the comedians on the Cape Town circuit and the Joburg circuit as well,
Yeah.
and the Durban circuit and the PE circuit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you've traveled South Africa doing your comedy, correct?
I've only done Joburg, eh? I've only done Joburg. That was for I think it was about a week. But I'm definitely planning on going up again to Joburg. Joburg is actually very 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 nice. Um, but I think once you start traveling, then you realize comedy is comedy. Eh?
Yeah.
The the game is the same whether you in a different city. The game is the same. So, but it's good because you get out, you meet different people, you hear different things, and you learn about how comedy is different in different areas, and you grow as a comedian. Eh?
Oh yeah.
You actually, even though you it doesn't seem like you're growing, but you are growing. So yeah, definitely travel. That's what I actually want to do. Durban. Durban is
I also
on
want to do
my
Durban. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, good
Cool.
food and good comedy.
All right, guys. So if you're watching, please comment. Feel free to ask at any point a question to CJ or me. Well, both of us, we're standing by if you have any questions. I see there's a few viewers, so don't be shy to ask us something. In the meantime, you told me the story of how you got started. Now, you've been doing comedy for 9 years, it's been going very well. Is there a gig or show that really stands out for you? That I mean, that was like even if there was only two people there, it's just a show that you think was like your favorite set that happened or whatever.
Yeah, there was one gig. I think Chili Bar. It was Chili Bar, and I was still building up my set and building up my repertoire. And then I think Gino one night he told me, dude, it's fine, go and host. And I haven't hosted before. And I was like, okay, cool, let me give it a go. And I think that night, Joe, there was only, I think, there was five people in the show, eh? It was literally five people. And it was one of the shows that I really, really can't forget. Eh? It's one of those moments where all that five people, it's like they were just diverse in their knowledge of everything. So each comedian that went on that night literally killed because those people were on top of things. They knew politics, they knew
Wow.
news, they knew like anything you can speak about, any topic, Facebook, WhatsApp, anything. That audience got it, and that five people, I don't know who they are, I don't know where they are, but yeah, that show really stood out for me, because I mean, it was just like one of those. Because when you have five people in the audience, you're like, it's
Yeah.
not gonna go left. But yeah, it was amazing, and that night I can never forget that. It's one of the nights that I can never forget. It'll always stick with me. So whenever I see an audience and we small amounts of people, it's anything can happen.
No, absolutely. Is
But
how long in the game were you? Like, at what points in your career did that happen? 2 years in, 3 years in?
I think that was about four,
Okay.
5 years in, 4 5 years in, yeah. And then it happened, and then I was like, sure, that was amazing, But you also know that that's a perfect storm, because general five people, it's game over.
Yeah.
It's game over when you have five people in the audience. So it doesn't happen a lot. So that's why I think I appreciate it
We got a
so much.
we got a comment here from Clinton Benson who says he's actually it seems like he's a comedy. Well, he's I think he's your. You mentioned he was your brother, I think, or
Yes, I actually take him with to all my when I'm doing new material.
yeah.
I take him with, and then he will give me feedback. So he's
Okay.
my yeah.
Well, he made a comment here, which I appreciate very much. He says Funky Buddha in Paul stands out for him.
Oh, I'll tell you the story. I played Funky Buddha in Paul. I think it was myself, Ambrose. I think Stuart Taylor was there as well. So I performed, went onto the stage, um, had an amazing time. Killed. I think everybody that night killed at Funky Buddha. Um, then when the show was done, you know how they do. People normally want to take pictures. So what happened is I took my brother with. Doing the show was done. I was like, okay, cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then I'm gonna come back. I go to the bathroom, Joe. I come back. I see my brother is busy taking photos with the audience members. Now I'm standing there. I'm like thinking, okay, cool. What's going on here? And as I'm approaching, everybody, my brother standing with Ambrose and all the other comedians, and they just this. And my brother is like, nah, my bro, it's not me. I'm not the comedian. And that time it's already 12 o'clock at night. Those people was like, nah, I'm the comedian. We're gonna take with you. And he was taking pictures, It got so bad, Joe, that one of the guys actually came up to me and said, hey, my bro, take a picture of me and the comedian. I'm like, but that's but that's me. I'm the comedian. So I literally took a photo of my brother with the audience. And the following day on Facebook, they put up a picture of my brother with the other comedian. And they're saying, nah, shot, thanks, DJ. Yeah, that was bad. So that's why whenever I take him with Joe, he's right there at the back. I don't let him sit with us at all with the comedians, because yeah, it was one of those moments. So yeah, you felt like a celeb, like
So I guess you and your brother look quite similar, obviously.
actually, I don't think we do, but people just. But Funky Buddha, it's dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you have two dog guys similar in build, it's easy. because the lighting is not that good. So yeah, so he was living the life, and the other comedians were laughing. They were laughing. They were canning themselves, and they found it hilarious. So yeah.
All right. Well, we got another comment here. I want to read it out, showing on the screen now from Abdullah, who says, "Did you enjoy doing comedy at Pizza Shack? I died hard. They're the only ever time I was there. Still, leave a rose outside there on the anniversary."
What did he say?
All right, so I'll read it properly this time. Okay, did you enjoy
Yeah.
doing comedy at Pizza Shack? He says that he died hard there. The only the only ever time that he was there, he died hard there, and that he still leaves a rose outside on the anniversary of his death at that gig.
That's funny. Eh? If you're gonna leave roses, I think I need a bunch of roses because there's a couple of gigs I can drive to and throw not just one, but a couple of two or three roses that same you. So I think we've all been there, Abdullah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. So Pizza Shack was pretty dope. But it was interesting so, as well. So it's one of the rooms where you actually have to they can ask with you or they can't. So you can numbers, but if they don't with you, then it's a bit difficult. But but a room is a room. So you can't say this room is harder than the other room because I had amazing gigs at Pizza Shack and then I also had some gigs that didn't go so lekker.
yeah,
So it's 50-50.
yeah. No, well, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I think we confided in Abdul evening. He crying. Yeah, I think that's good news. But he must let me roses there because I actually need some roses. So gardens. I can just go and scoop it up there.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that topic though of dying at a gig, do you have any like gig that is like the worst gig you've ever been at? It just for whatever reason, whether you died or something out of your control happened, maybe it was just the entire show that made it bad, everybody was struggling, whatever the case, do you have a top worst gig and what was your experience like?
I wouldn't say I have a top worst gig. I think the first my first gig that I done as an open micer, I died. That's memorable because I mean it's your first time. But the one gig that really stands out for me, it's not that I died that night. It was just the aesthetics of the building was just it
Yeah.
was strange because you had the crowd in front and then right next to the stage where you were there was a the bathroom. So the bath was literally right there next to the stage. So what would happen is there's only one way to go to the bathroom. So you'd be on stage, the guy would get up, you would go to the bathroom, and the thing about it is I don't think the walls were thick. Eh? I think it was just there. So you this thing and you could literally hear each and every that's literally going down there in the bathroom. So now you mid punchline and and you're just hearing and you're hearing
No, man.
and and it's difficult to deliver your punchline when this guy is busy peeing. And the thing about it is some people they use the rim, some people they just live on the edge and they just go straight into the water. So then you hear that sound. So it was difficult, man. It was difficult. And it was just a strange. It was in observatory. It wasn't too far from Armchair. I can't remember what's the name of that gig, but Nati, Nati Maki used to run that gig, and sure, it was. It's just that dynamic. So the gig wasn't bad. It's just if a lot of people are going to the bathroom, it just throws you out completely.
Your hands on the mic again.
Oh, sorry. It
No.
just throws the people out completely, or it throws you out completely if you
Yes.
have having to listen to this guy doing his business. So we're thankful that nobody dropped the number two while we were on stage.
Was it a
Because that
unisex bathroom or was it just the men was next to the stage?
I think the men was there. I think 26. I can't remember. It was just the weirdest. ever. And but the thing is, Joe, as you know, comedy takes you to and wonderful places.
Yeah, no,
I
it really
mean,
does.
places I've known about. I've been living down all my some of the places that I would if it wasn't for comedy. Okay?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
and you're like, I didn't. But when you perform there, you're like, that's why I know this place existed because I wouldn't come here. There were Malos. I don't know if you remember that gig, Jimmy Jamal in
uh,
Long Street as well. Naz used to run that gig as well. So that was also a strange and wonderful little place. So yeah, comedy takes you places, man. But you make the best of it. So yeah. But you do comedy, eh? Because you've driven out the petals. Nah,
yeah,
I
exactly.
must. Even if the guy's doing a number one, I'm gonna do my set. I'm gonna say my say. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'll ask Naughty about that gig when I see him again, just to know what the name was.
I can't remember what the name of the gig was, yeah, but yeah. Good times, eh? Good times.
Good times.
Hey, comedy.
Cool. So yeah, you've pretty much answered all of my questions. I think okay. Here's one that I haven't asked you yet, and I think everybody. I mean, I'm noticing on social media that a lot of people are starting to definitely get cravings for food. I'm seeing a lot of food, like posting food, people cooking, people saying they miss things, stuff like that. Is there anything that you're missing besides performing in the stage? Is there anything that you're missing during this lockdown?
Um, Not banana bread. Let me tell you that. 'Cause just, what is up with the banana bread? Can we speak about that? I mean, why is everybody into banana? Why can't you make a cake, bake cookies or muffins?
I,
I don't know that.
I
Don't
have
tell me you make banana
no
bread,
no
Joe.
no.
Oh no, oh no, Joe.
I have a theory. I have a theory. I think what
Oh,
happened was that on the Thursday when it was going into lockdown, everybody just bought bananas, right? They just went to the shops, they bought their bananas. But now what happened is, if you notice, it's like we're day nine, day eight, day seven when people started to really post this stuff, maybe even day five, you know? So the bananas, I think some of the bananas were going off. So everyone
yeah,
was just, well, let's make a
yeah.
banana bread.
I don't know what's it's crazy, but there's a lot of banana breads, but I used to like banana breads, but I mean, I'm done now. I mean, I got bananas there, but I'm gonna eat them. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna be that guy that's making banana bread. Hey, look at me. I mean, make something else with banana, man. Make a milkshake or, you know what I mean? Use your NutriBullet or do something, man. You can't just make banana bread. It's crazy. Um, one thing that I'm missing, I would actually say it's some takeaways, eh? I'm not big on takeaways. I'm not big on takeaways, but there's certain takeaways that you actually miss, eh?
Mm.
You know, like your Burger King or McDonald's from time to time. Not
Yeah.
that I do it a lot, but yeah, that's one thing that I'm missing as well. Oh, and also running. I'm running as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So
Yeah, well, yeah.
yeah,
If you're used to getting
yes.
exercise, you're gonna get that.
I'm used to getting exercise outdoors, but now I'm doing it indoors, and it's not the same, eh? It's not the same.
No, I would imagine. I would imagine so.
People think I'm exercising because healthy. Yes, it's fine, but it also you're out of the house, man. You're out of the house. It leaves some time for you to miss your wife. So that's why. But now I'm here around 24/7, so it's difficult running, at home. So I miss running and I miss the Nando's. Yeah,
The
I think that's
Nando's.
what.
You're a
Yeah.
Nando's man. Okay. I miss sushi.
Yeah.
I miss sushi. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's another one. Sushi. Oh, that's amazing. Eh? Oh no, sushi. Yeah. Ah, what's your favorite spot? What's your favorite spot for sushi?
There's a spot where I stay. I stay in Brackenfell, and there's a spot just next to the N1 turnoff that we have up the road here in a center. It's called Yo Kung Fu Restaurant.
No kung fu.
Yeah, literally, it's called that.
Afrikaans. Is it
Yeah.
Afrikaans guy? Is the owner Afrikaans?
No, no, no. They're Japanese, I think, or Korean. I'm not sure.
Okay. Because it
Um,
just sounds like a Johan type of yo kung fu. It's like we need to be South African, but we also need to stay Chinese. So it's just so it's just really the yo kung fu.
it is an interesting name. I've always thought so, but probably the best sushi. I'm not gonna lie. It's always fresh. It's always good.
I'll
Definitely my favorite place, and I miss it. I miss them so much.
definitely go check it out. I'll definitely go check it out.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
we are pretty much at the end, my friend. It's been an hour.
oh, serious.
Yeah, see, it
Oh,
goes quite quickly. When the conversation, having fun
that's
with the
good.
audience, it goes quite quickly. To everyone that is tuned in, thank you so much for watching and being part of the conversation, dropping in those comments. They're highly appreciated. Remember,
Yes.
before I. Okay, so this is what's going to happen now. I'm going to say bye to We're going to say bye to CJ for just a moment. CJ, just stay on the line. I'll chat to you after the show after I sign off here, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, say bye to
Just
CJ.
one. So can I just say one thing before I go?
Absolutely, go ahead.
First of all, I just want to say thanks, Joe, man, for creating this platform. As comedians, we like being on stage and chatting with you and this platform that you created. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for comedy and for us as well and giving us this platform. So I really appreciate it. Really had fun. And best of luck with you. And hopefully this will just continue to be a thing even when coronavirus is done and over with, man. So yeah, big up to you taking it to the next level every time. Appreciate it, man.
Thank
Thanks for having me.
you.
And
Thank
thank you
you.
for the people for tuning in as well, all my friends and family. And yeah, brothers and sisters and Abdullah. Thank you. And Mark and Mike. Thanks, man. Peace
Thank
out.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Cool. Thank you, buddy. All right, guys. So that was CJ Benson. Thank you guys once again so much for tuning in. Please share this. Tell everyone about it. Almost every night so far, I'm going to have a different comedian. I'm also going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking with filmmakers. I'm going to be talking with other people, other performers. If you happen to be a comedian, I would like to chat to you as well, or a performer, an actor, a singer, whoever, doesn't matter. And we're gonna. It's all about just having fun and engaging with people that are watching and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the comments. Please don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter. There's also Twitter. I messed that up. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to this thing here. There we go. Twitter. Then we've also got Instagram. There it is. Please, guys, follow me on Instagram. I got some cool stories for you guys. Then I'm also on TikTok. Believe it or not, I'm on TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I know a lot of you might be a bit surprised about that. So please, guys, like this video. Please like this video. Please, please, please. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe. I've got a lot more content coming your way. I do skits, I do rants, I do stand up comedy, I do a lot of stuff. And, of course, these interviews almost every night. So, for now, good night. Day 9, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, tomorrow night I have Dalen Oliver on the show, which is going to be fantastic. So, I'll see you here, same time, tomorrow night. Good night. How do I stop this? Cheers.